Jackson and I double-checked the navigation system, ensuring it was set for a return to Earth. I rushed to the surveillance systems, frantically scanning for any sign of the Xarxian alien. The ship's corridors echoed with bangs and crashes. It was in the one place we didn't have cameras, the vents. Jackson, get that fireblower ready. This isn't over, my voice trembling with urgency. We moved through the ship cautiously, every step measured, prepared for anything. The metallic walls were a maze, each corridor identical and disorienting. Suddenly, the creature burst through a vent, landing with a wet thud on the floor. Its skin, partially melted, glistened in the dim light, hatred gleaming in its eyes. Jackson aimed the fireblower as it hissed, but before he could react, it leaped back into the vent and scuttled away. Moments later, the hyperdrive whined as it energized. Our eyes widened in panic. "To the deck!" I shouted. We sprinted back to the control room, the hum of the hyperdrive growing louder. Just as I reached for the controls, the ship jumped to hyperspace. The sudden acceleration threw us against the walls. Jackson screamed in pain, clutching his side. "Captain, I think I broke a rib," he gasped. Ignoring the pain in my own back, I searched for the med kit, hoping to find something to ease his suffering. The kit was almost empty, devoid of anything useful. I returned to Jackson, who lay pale and sweating on the floor. "We need to get you to the med bay. The machine there can fix your rib," helping him to his feet. His arm draped over my shoulders as we stumbled down the hall, every step accompanied by his groans of pain. A deafening screech echoed through the ship, raising the hair on the back of my neck. We pressed on, reaching the med bay. I gently laid Jackson on the table and activated the medical computer. "Stay here and try to relax. I'll figure out how to kill that thing. We can't afford to reach Earth with it on board." Jackson nodded weakly. As the med bay's automated systems whirred to life, Jackson lay back, wincing with each breath. I took a deep breath, my mind racing with strategies to outsmart the Xarxian. It was cunning and relentless, a predator born of a hostile world, and we were its prey. I made my way to the weapons locker. The fireblower had proven ineffective. We needed something more potent. Rifling through the arsenal, I found a prototype plasma rifle. It wasn't field-tested, but desperate times called for desperate measures. I reviewed the ship's schematics on my handheld device. The vents crisscrossed the entire ship, providing the Xarxian with numerous escape routes. We needed a plan to flush it out and corner it. I activated the ship's intercom. "Jackson, I'm heading to the main control panel. I have an idea that might force the Xarxian out of the vents." His voice crackled back, weak but determined. "What's the plan, Captain?" "I'm going to use the environmental controls to flood the vents with gas. It won't harm the ship, but it should drive the alien into the open where we can confront it. Can you hang in there a little longer?" "I'll manage," Jackson replied, though his strained tone betrayed his pain. I hurried to the main control panel and accessed the environmental systems. After a quick scan, I found what I needed. A non-lethal gas designed for pest control in case of a small infestation. I set the system to pump the gas through the vents at full capacity. As the gas began to circulate, I grabbed the plasma rifle and took position near the junction of several vent openings. My heart pounded as I waited, every second feeling like an eternity. The ship's creaks and groans seemed louder, more menacing, as I anticipated the Xarxian's next move. Suddenly, a clang echoed from the vent above me. The grate burst open and the Xarxian tumbled out, hissing, its movements erratic from the gas. Its eyes locked onto mine with pure malice. I fired the plasma rifle, the beam hitting the creature's side. It shrieked in agony, but lunged at me with ferocious speed. I dove to the side, narrowly avoiding its claws, my back still aching with pain. The creature skidded across the floor, struggling to regain its balance. Taking advantage of its disorientation, I fired again, this time hitting its leg. The alien stumbled, and I seized the moment to move in closer, aiming for its head. The plasma rifle hummed with lethal energy as I pulled the trigger once more. The beam struck true, piercing the Xarxian's skull. It let out one final blood-curdling scream before collapsing lifeless to the floor. Breathing heavily, I stared at the alien's body, ensuring it was truly dead. Satisfied, I lowered the plasma rifle and made my way back to the medbay. Jackson's eyes widened in relief as I entered. "It's done. The Xarxian is dead," my voice a mixture of exhaustion and triumph. Jackson managed a weak smile. "Good job, Captain. Now let's get home." I helped him to his feet, and we made our way back to the control room. With the immediate threat neutralized, we watched as the stars streaked past the viewport. A sense of calm finally settled over us. The nightmare was over. We had survived. "Captain," Jackson said softly, breaking the silence, "thank you for everything." I nodded, the weight of our ordeal still heavy but bearable with the knowledge that we were headed home. "We did it together, Jackson. Now let's get some rest. We've earned it." The ship's automated systems guided us through the final stretch of our journey. As we exited hyperspeed, Earth came into view. A wave of relief washed over me. We had faced death and emerged victorious. Now, it was time to return, to heal, and to ensure that the sacrifices of our fallen crewmates were not in vain. Our eyes widened with a fear like never before. We slowly turned around and saw the Xarxian alien standing in the doorway of the deck. It was in that moment I realized this species was unkillable. Being as close to Earth as we were, I knew the only and final decision was to sacrifice the ship and our lives, in hope it would kill the alien and save the planet. The creature slowly slithered towards us. I reached behind me and activate the self-destruct sequence. The timer started. Jackson looked at me with disbelief and utter dread. "Captain, are you sure this is the only way?" Sadness and fear in his voice. I said, "Jackson, it has been an honor working with you by your side." He looked at me and gave me a solemn nod.
5, 4, 3, 2,